Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara Bizak. Last night, a Muslim came on my previous live stream here, and I don't know. He thought that I was screaming at him. Maybe I was screaming at him, and being loud. That's the way I get, and I haven't been feeling well, so I apologize for that. And I was very tired from the very beginning. And because some Muslims I don't trust, that even if you show them the truth, they will see. But still, I should give them a chance, right? So yes, I've had this headache, and anyways, so I became defensive, right? And he was like, he's very polite and all this, and but I had lost patience, to tell you the truth. So I'm not going to give any defense other than I am to be blamed. He cannot argue. He cannot show a mad human, as he called me. This. Okay, going back. So there are some Muslims who come here against my former religion. They say, well, you were not never on the true path. That ignited another argument in my mind. And because I have OCD and aggravation inside of me, I don't get rest. I keep thinking, overthinking, and I had to go back and see Surah Fatiha and then realize that God had told the children of Israel. So it was really good that I realized what God had told the children of Israel back then in the Quran ayats, that you are favored and you're blessed. Not only the prophets and the righteous ones they believed in, the messengers, but also that, O children of Israel. So that's in Surah Baqarah ayat 122 and another 147, Surah Baqarah, the same Surah, and in Surah 40 of Surah Baqarah also, and Surah Baqarah 83, but it blames them of, although God had favored them, they turned away. O children of Israel, O Bani Israel. So this person last night, also another one, came and started to, after that, this other person came, and I was in a very bad mood. I was hurt and thinking like Muslims are not coming to the truth, and maybe later on even I started to think that I've chosen the wrong way to show, because I hate these debates and all this, and I see Muslims coming not honest, like they wouldn't come up straight and say, yes, you're right. It took like many hours, on many things. This Muslim Salahuddin, Arab, used to come here, and then he would say, you're right, but then this one, but that, but, and then he'll go back to believing in what he wants to believe in. So that also, right? I was quite worried about when this Muslim came and said, you are a mad human. You're a mad human, and we cannot argue. We can't show you the truth if you're becoming emotional and mad. Like my father said that in the court, if you become like emotional, you will lose out. It will be like this. Have you seen in the court? Although the person is true, the lawyer, but this is madness, right? Of you can see Al Pacino in Justice for All. So this person was hanging on to what my father says. He's like my father, you know. That if you are emotional, they'll put you in. This Al Pacino was very emotional, although he was right. Who was the rapist of that woman? But very emotional. Who would listen to this emotional, dramatic scene? So you can badnaam me, you can make me notorious in just one coming here. And because I talk like this, when someone questions me, I get defensive now. And before that too, with Salahuddin, he wouldn't accept it. He wouldn't accept. he would accept it like after, and I thought, okay, it's time to celebrate. Salahuddin has seen it, at least accepted something. But then the next time he would come and question, say no, no, something like very sly. Very, I found it very dishonest and very unfair to me, showing him like after 1 hour he would come, I'm on the live stream and he would start questioning. I don't have that kind of staying here for 4 hours at times. I don't have that kind of strength for 4 hours. What I'm surviving on is a herbal medicine. If I don't take that, and if I cry a little bit, my bones start to hurt. I get up and all that, right? So that's why I have to talk about my condition. Not that I expect any sympathies from you or any understanding from you people, Muslims. So now, okay, so putting me in the bad books, like, oh yeah, she's a mad woman, meaning angry woman, human. So, bear with me, please, those still hanging on here, if you are. Yeah, okay, I'm a mad human, and no one will listen to a mad human. No one can discuss politely and calm down, he's telling me, and I couldn't calm down. Because I was out of energy. I had a headache the whole day. I didn't have a painkiller. I tried one. I didn't see if it's expired, what, like that. And it was psychic attacks I was having. All right. So I don't think if you don't understand, then you will never understand. If you don't know me by now, then you will never, never know me. And anyways, being emotional does not mean he had to be emotional, Al Pacino, in the scene. And you know what I have been through and all that. So if you want me to calm down and be like, because you have all the Muslims backing you and your suave calmness, your suavity, your suaveness, your calmness. And if you want to play that card against me, it will not do. Okay, now I just have one correction to make. Although in this ayat it says, min duni, apart from Allah, about the Lord's part, but with the associating partners, it says behi, with Allah. Do not associate partners with Allah. So when you want to tell the Christians, you better say that unless authority is sent down, and this ayat I was discussing, first I went to Surah Tawbah ayat 31, that Jesus Christ is taken, Masih ibn Maryam should be taken with Allah here, as the translators go. Even I checked a long time ago that the Shias even say that this is wrong. Isa ibn Maryam should not be taken as Lord with Allah. This is what I made out, because the commentary here is quite vague. So what I could make out from this vague commentary under Ayat 30, because under Ayat 31, where it says they have taken their doctors of law and their monks for lords besides Allah, and they put a comma here, even Shakir, and also the Masih, son of Maryam, meaning they've taken Lord and they were besides Allah, right? And they were enjoined that they should serve one Allah only. There is no God but He. Far from His glory be what they set up with them. So even the Shias, but very indirectly, is they give the commentary. See commentary for verse 30. See commentary for verse 30. Now it's loading here. You see, it's giving me these problems. So please. I feel that, he was trying to tell me that I'm not calmed down and I should calm down. Whereas this is my style now of talking, because I have little energy and I struggle with my energy. I don't mean to be rude also, and be respectful and all this he was telling me. But he was telling me, no, I did not mean that you are disrespectful. Okay, so you would think, oh, I'm... either whatever the bad in the bad books you would put me. I am very angry actually about this and about a lot of things in life. So the Shia say this: in these verses, the corrupted and distorted beliefs of the Jews and Christians have been pointed out, because of which they have been grouped with, which they, because of this, which they have been grouped with idolaters in the preceding verse before this. Fight those who do not believe in Allah or in the latter day, nor do they prohibit what Allah and His Messenger have prohibited, nor follow the religion of truth out of those who have been given the book until they pay the tax in acknowledgement of superiority and they are in a state of subjection. And about this, false teachers and preachers try to, 32. They decide to put out the light of Allah. Now there's another commentary here. So I really don't know. I've read all this before, and I really don't have the energy, but let's see how much energy I may have. Because these kind of, even calming down, like you don't see the other things I've shown, you just calm on one thing and then you just go away saying that she's a mad human. We can't argue, we can't reason with her, even calmly and politely, and she's disrespectful. But whatever I am in this madness, I tell you, I know the truth here. That even the Shias have not explained this ayat properly, whether you should take Isa ibn Maryam as Lord with Allah. We never, as a Shia, I never thought, until Rob Christian pointed it out, that we're supposed to take Isa ibn Maryam as Lord with Allah. There were many such things that I had, like even here it's not clearly pointing out this verse, that you can take Isa al-Masih as Lord with Allah. See? So the Shias have been very, at times, dodgy also, like dishonest. Try to, evade the direct verse which says, also the son of Maryam. We would think, like the Sunnis think, that not to take with Allah the Messiah, son of Maryam, as Lord. You see this because there's a comma there. And also, meaning also they have taken their doctors of law and their monks for lords. And also this Masih ibn Maryam as lords. Do you see this? Sorry, I cannot afford to be calm and disrespectful. Yes, I'm very disrespectful. Now, okay, there's so many contradictions here, and the Muslims try to evade it and, make excuses and defend Prophet Muhammad and the Quran through their own ways. Now, so from here, I took him to where it says, you're not supposed to, Ali Imran, you're not supposed to take one another for lords. And I even explained this ayat before about this. Maybe one another as lords, but not what authority Allah has sent down. But on this, the Sunnis, Muslims say that directly, if you look at their tafsirs, it would be that Isa al-Masih is not to be taken as Lord along with Allah, even if authorities, there's no authority sent down for this. Now, about this between, you see, this is how the Shias can even evade me here, by saying we are so polite and you are so rude. Yeah, I even called M16, I said you are a terrorist. All you Muslims are terrorists. Because you follow a terrorist. Because you give defenses for them, for Allah, casting fear into the hearts. And I've shown that it was wrong in Surah Hashr to break homes and all this. So if you go on like this, I will keep calling you a terrorist. On blasphemy, you've killed people. Even your Prophet Muhammad asked Imam Ali to kill someone criticizing Prophet Muhammad. Just on criticizing on his face, coming there and criticizing Imam Ali, took a sword and beheaded him. And my father said, that's good. That's great of him good of him to do that. That's right. That's correct. Say, O people of the scripture, come to a word that is equitable between us and you, and we will not worship except Allah and not associate anything with Him. Yet, I mean, if here he said, but when authority is given. So in Surah Araf it says authority is given. Not here when he's speaking directly to these Jews and Christians. In every ayat he should have put without authority, not associate anything with him without authority. Then even the Sunnis might have come to what the Shia say. This was not a written book. This was a revelation spoken out by, there with the Christians and Jews. So, ayat. Then you have to bring Surah Araf ayat here also. I feel the energy in your voice. May Allah bless you. Thank you so much for that. You feel the passion in my voice and all that. Yeah, the sadness and the hurt. Thank you this time. You have Hala. No, wait a minute. No. Zalah. No. Zali. What's your name? Sorry. Hello. Zali. This is Bariye. Zali. What's your name? Can you put that in English so I can thank you with your name? So I'm not here to hello to you. MashaAllah, I feel the energy in your voice. May Allah bless you. Thank you so much for the blessings. May Allah bless you manifoldly. Your family, your children, your, I can't talk properly now. Your people. So, hope last night, I was up late and the neighbors would have been disturbed. But I went on with you here. I must have disturbed the neighbors. It was very late. Hope you understood what I was trying to tell you. Zali. Okay, Zali. Say, O people of the scripture, come to a word. So here, okay, and not take one another as lords instead of Allah. It could be, besides could mean apart from Allah, right? Min duni. So maybe the person wants to correct me by saying it's not along with Allah, but it's other than Allah, apart from Allah here in this part. And not take one another as lords instead of Allah. So he says here, are you saying Sahih International is wrong? Then you should talk to the religious scholars and correct them, right? So he put the word, he says, this word is correct, this, instead of Allah, or apart from Allah. But here, I pointed out to him, not associate anything with him. Yet, there is association with him. So if you're concentrating on not taking any other as lords instead of Allah here, and then in Surah Tawbah, ayat 31, Masih ibn Maryam is allowed to be taken as Lord with Allah, even then the translators of the Quran will not agree with you about that. Because how they put it is to mean that even Masih ibn Maryam cannot be taken as Lord with Allah over there. So if you're just concentrating on this word and saying instead, it's instead here, it's instead here, you're not looking, then why don't all of your translators go back to Surah Tawbah ayat 31 and correct it? Before I didn't know how to put it properly, today I have, right? If you're blaming me that I've missed this word, min duni, and it's instead, and correct Sahih International, then what do you say, what do your translators and your Muslims unanimously say about Surah Tawbah 31? That Isa ibn Maryam is not to be taken as Lord with Allah. Or besides Allah, would you say? Because here, if you go to Surah Tawbah ayat, again, let me explain this, right? Properly. I hope God helps me to explain it. So I seems like I have energy, but I'm struggling a lot, very much. So I'm slow. I need to take a break also, but I'm not going to gather my energy. I have chronic fatigue, and it's getting worse. Surah Tawbah, Ayat 31. Each and every Muslim in the beginning used to tell me that Isa, Masih ibn Maryam, is not to be taken as Lord because the sentence is like this and you're not to take besides Allah. Here it's with Allah or besides, apart from Allah, right? Again, it's min duni, apart from Allah. But who would take Isa ibn Maryam as Lord apart from Allah? Who? Which Christian? Since the point is on Masih ibn Maryam, right? So Allah should have not put it this way. For the Christians at least, which Christian takes Isa ibn Maryam apart from Allah as Lord? They take, so the same word is used here. You see, I'm pointing out the mistakes Allah has made. It's very difficult to show. Which Christian, right? You get it? So it's not right here, right to even say this. Put it in this way, min duni, apart from Allah, because no Christian has taken Masih ibn Maryam apart from Allah as Lord. They've taken Isa, Masih ibn Maryam as Lord. There's only one God they worship except. So you see my point here that I'm unable to show properly. So remember, from the beginning, the Muslims would say that you cannot take Isa ibn Maryam apart from Allah as Lord. But here, even here, apart from Allah is allowed for Masih ibn Maryam to be taken as Lord. Even because it's written in an incorrect manner. So if you say there, look at instead of Allah there, instead, in that other ayat, Al Imran ayat, I forget the number, then look at this. Even though min duni is used here, instead it says besides, right? It doesn't say instead of Allah. You see the problem here. And then you blame me, and in a very nice way, like you apologize. You see, then why even besides Allah, if you take it without the commas that your Sahih International has put, and for min duni here, Sahih International has put besides and not instead, And the same word is in Al Imran, where it says we should not take instead of Allah. Here you've chosen, Sahih International has chosen instead of Allah for min duni. Sorry, I'm just, am I shouting, screaming? Yes, so Sahih International has made a mistake here. How come it's chosen? How come it's chosen instead than besides Allah? Now, besides has two meanings. It could be along with Allah or apart from Allah, right? If you say no, then in Surah Tawbah ayat 31, min duni means that you're not supposed to take Isa ibn Maryam instead of Allah as Lord. Because min duni is used. Min duni. This word, you see? Min duni, besides, from besides Allah. Besides, min duni is used for Surah Tawbah 31. And if you're saying, then, it crosses what? It's not put properly. That sentence structure is wrong. If you're saying, right, Isa al-Masih, you're right about Surah, which he was saying, right? That you can take. That's not besides. That's not instead in Surah Tawbah. So you can take as Lord. But it's min duni. It would mean instead of Allah taking Isa al-Masih as Lord. Same word is used, but different meanings are used for the same word. Even Sahih International does it. In Surah Tawbah 31. Do you get it? So since that person last night, Chicken Wings, Steve, you see what I mean? He said yes, yes. But here it says instead of Allah not to take lords. Instead, don't you see the Sahih International? And I was really tired. I could get confused in all this and deceived by this person. Because Sahih International has put instead here rather than besides. In Surah Tawbah, for the same word, min duni phrase, Sahih International has used besides as translation, not instead. So Surah Tawbah ayat, you see here, he agreed here that we can take Masih ibn Maryam as Lord. But what is the word used here? Min duni, besides. Min, besides, duni, besides Allah. And the Masih, son of Maryam, should not be taken as Lord besides Allah. Here, how come you agree that Masih ibn Maryam should be taken as Lord beside Allah, min duni, and there you're saying no lords should be taken. Then you can't take Imam Ali as Lord, Prophet Muhammad as Lord. Even the Shias can't do this. Here, they have taken the rabbis and their monks as lords. Besides, min duni, Allah, besides Allah, and the Masih, son of Maryam. Apart. Oh, so here it says that they have taken their rabbis and their monks instead of Allah and Masih ibn Maryam as Lord. Okay, let me correct myself. So it's not, okay, so sorry, I correct myself here. It says that you should not take your rabbis and your monks instead apart from Allah, and Masih ibn Maryam as Lord, right? But Sahih International does not put here instead. It puts besides Allah, it would be the same. Besides, so along with Allah and Masih ibn Maryam, you can take your monks and your rabbis as lords. Very confusing for me also here. Let me just get this straight. You cannot take your Lord's monks and your monks, but you can take Masih ibn Maryam. Allah and Masih ibn Maryam. It's very confusing. But with Allah, you can take your monks and your scholars even as lords, but not apart from Allah, instead of Allah and Masih ibn Maryam. So it's very confusing here for me. Allah has not given authority for you to take monks and lords. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just get this straight. Okay, I'm here. I didn't completely solve this. So I'm doing it online now, right? They have taken their scholars and their monks as lords besides Allah. It's not along with Allah, it's instead of Allah, like instead of Allah and Masih, son of Mary. So what this person also, whatever this person was saying, the majority of Muslims, even the Shias, maybe, I don't know, they're not clear, Shias, about this. But the majority of Muslims, Sunni Muslims and all, say that there's a comma here and also is in bracket. So this means that apart from Allah, or min duni, besides Allah, you cannot take even Masih, son of Maryam, as a Lord. This is what the majority of Muslims have been saying. And I've been showing them about this ayat, what Rob Christian showed us, that it's not like that. You can take Allah and Masih ibn Maryam as Lord. The only contention is besides and scholars and monks. Whether you can't take them. If you say min duni means instead of Allah, which Sahih International puts it here, then it would mean that even the majority of Muslims should correct themselves about that also. And you're a rare person who says, okay, Lord Masih ibn Maryam is taken, because this word is instead. Instead of Allah, you cannot take anyone. Now, this is quite confusing. So let's leave it to you try to work this out yourself now, right? But let's go to not associate anything with him. Without authority should be here because he's having a conversation, or he's telling the Ahl Kitab at that time. It's not in a book. Every time it comes, do not associate anything with Allah, Behi would be without authority, should be put here, which is not put in every ayat, which confuses, where the Sunnis, majority of Sunnis have been confused. And they don't see that rare ayats. How many? 2. How many here, right? Look at this. What was it I was searching for? Besides Allah. Do not associate anyone with Allah. without authority. So every time your Prophet Muhammad had a revelation and wanted to convey this, it should have, to the Christians or anyone, should put without authority. It has to be like this. Because you see, then shirk, using partners with Allah, is unforgivable. Associating partners with Allah, there's ayat. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything. When Muslims come here and they stick to one point where they want to make me wrong or say that I've made a mistake, but they don't see the other things that I've shown them. And they want to, I don't know what they want to do, like burn all the bridges. They want to point out one mistake I've made, one thing I've missed. But you don't see the rest of the mistakes Allah has made in the Quran. You completely overlook that. Okay, if you want to correct me in this, you correct me in this, right? I stand corrected. Besides, apart from Allah, it means apart from Allah. Now, O people of the scripture, come to, without authority. Because you see, shirk is an unforgivable sin. It doesn't say without authority there. Taking partners with Allah or calling on any other than Allah is shirk. And what is the ayat? So I'm just, do not take unbelievers as your Allah's preference to the believers. Do you wish to, or where's that? I think there are only 2-3 ayats like this which point out when associating with Allah without authority. In Surah Araf is 33 ayat, I think, of Surah Araf. Right? It's like this. So another point is that I will forget, but let me show you Surah Araf even if I forget. Look, every time you speak to a Christian or a Jew, you're supposed to say this ayat, Surah Araf ayat 33, this part of the ayat, and that you associate with Allah that for which He has not sent down authority. It's very crucial, important. It's most important you say this in every ayat where you've put, do not associate anyone with Allah without authority. It's like you've put in Surah Araf, your Allah has put in Surah Araf, ayat 33, regarding the association with Allah. And then, please bear with me, okay? I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything of that sort. And a mad woman I may be, but bear with me. A mad human, angry and all, please bear with me. You see here, associating anyone with it's an unforgivable sin. So it should have put here also, what's an associating or calling on, let's see, Quran ayat, right? Does it say associating or calling on any other than Allah? Here it is, Surah Nisa 48. It says, indeed, Allah does not forgive that partners be associated with Him, but He forgives from other than that for whom He wills. He forgives other than that, but He does not forgive that partners be associated with Him. It should have been without authority, right? Because most Sunnis don't even remember Surah Araf ayat 33. When you've made the sin unforgivable, it's not only calling on Allah alone, calling on any other than Allah is associating partners with Him. So if you want to show in a very polite manner that I'm not polite, I'm very bad. I'm very mad and no one can argue with you. No one can even point to you the mistake that there's no contradiction here. Do you see the problem here in this verse? When Allah mentions a sin which is unforgivable, He doesn't mention authority is not sent down for it. Which means if in other ayats He's mentioned that, then it is a contradiction to this ayat. Right? You get it? This is what I meant. So I may look rude or disrespectful, and mad, human, angry, he meant, putting it in that way. But I'm not always mad, right? So please be fair with me about that. Why am I mad here? You can't call me a mad human because a human cannot be angry all the time. If you say mad meant angry and sorry and all this, that's just not fair to make such rash statements about me. Not fair to me, right? Because if you label me as a mad human, it means I'm always angry. I'm not always angry. When I find the truth within myself, I'm not angry at that time. When I see the truth, when I accept the truth, when I correct myself, I'm not angry at myself. I'm angry at those who have deceived us and deceived themselves. But there are times I'm not angry when I'm cooking or when I'm doing something. I am, yes, there is this struggle and this frustration due to this lack of energy. But I'm not always angry while I'm sleeping. I'm not always angry unless someone in my sleep, I'm being attacked by demons and I'm belligerent. I feel I'm fighting with so many, such a force, invincible force. Of course, it gives me that anger. And then you have a Buddha that is very ferocious. Even a Buddha from Bodhisattvas, they've made ferocious. So you can't call me a mad human. That's unfair to me. And you're being rude in a very polite manner. That means you're very cunning for me. I'm sorry, I have to say this. So don't use that card on me, your cunning card. You can be polite. Gaslighters and covert narcissists are polite at times. They cannot afford to lose their cool. There are hypocrites who are polite, calm, because they know they've had you in a very calm manner. They attack you. You don't have to be angry to be disrespectful or to be right or wrong. You can be calm and wrong and unjust. They say in Urdu, meeti churi se kaatna. You can be very polite Like this person, honey poisoned. You can show that you are a peacemaker, but you're actually not. The Quran ayat says also. You know, I'm not afraid of angry people. You know who I'm afraid of? Hypocrites. Clothed in, sheep and wolf's clothes. No, wolf in sheep's clothing. Honeyed poison by Khalil Gibran. Nabi was carried to his miserable mother. You can be like this. My dearest friend Nabi, I must leave this village of my fathers, for my continued presence is casting misery upon you and upon my wife and upon myself. You are noble in spirit and scorn the betrayal of friend or neighbor. And although I know that Susan is innocent and virtuous, I know also that the true love which unites your heart and her heart is beyond your power, right? And what's this letter? Very, sorry, excuse me, no copyright infringement intended, although it was my profile. So you see, you can be very, my truth I will speak. And when someone has been oppressed for so many years, the truth has been oppressed. And how are you pointing to instead here and besides there? When majority of Muslims have taken, even the Shias, I don't know, may have taken this to be wrong. Ayat, Surah Tawbah ayat. Where is it? See how much injustice is done. Would it not make you angry? But you're expecting too much out of me. As I've been saying, I'm tired. I can't speak properly. They have taken the scholars and monks as lords besides Allah. Now, do you get it? Or it's very difficult to again and again explain this for. I feel I have very lacking of energy. Also, so if you want politeness, you go to ex-Muslim Sahil or someone. He's very polite. He's a very calm person. I can't. I've had enough. Sorry. Even today I was thinking, like, why did I take this path? Of showing like this, what I get and what I will get, what I've been getting. The Muslims are not coming forward and saying clearly that yes, you're right. And again, they come. One of them was coming again and saying, "I'm saying what I just explained to you. You said I'm right about this, and then you're going back and you come back and you say no, but this no. Oh, how they put words." Very politely. This Arab was not shouting at me. I was shouting at him. The Messiah. So besides, yeah? This is your contention. This is what you came to say. Now I'm going to higher grounds. Now let's put this aside. This is not important. The thing is that now I'm going on higher grounds that Rasulullah and his progeny are not the ones that Shia say were blessed. It was actually from the Bani Israel. I'm going to Surah Fatiha now to show you what, with one T, yes. Sorry. So Surah Fatiha says, where's the Surah Fatiha? Quran.com. It says, Thee alone do we worship, and Thee alone do we implore for help. Guide us on the right path. It's a prayer to God. Guide us now. It's a prayer. Guide us to the straight path. The path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, not of those who have earned your anger or of those who are astray. Slowly, this Quran ayat shows that the Jews went wrong. The Jews went wrong. I have to put the light on. Oh! Okay, I didn't drop anything. I'm sorry about this. I thought I was going to drop something there. Okay, I'm going to put the light on and show you which verse. I'm going to show you. Okay, I've jotted it down in my notes. So from Surah Fatiha, you know who were these ones who were blessed? The path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor. So a person before that, Chicken Wings Steve came to tell me that I was never on the true path. So I told him that, look, the Surah Fatiha says, you're supposed to be guided on the path of those whom you have bestowed favor. Now in the Quran, I see who God has bestowed favor on. See who God has bestowed favor on. First is the Bani Israel, and then also Abraham's wife is told when she's given by the messengers the news of a boy in her old age. Where's that ayat? Surah Hud, ayat 73. Although Allah wishes to thoroughly purify the Prophet's Ahlul Bayt, his Ahlul Bayt there he calls them, in that ayat Surah Azab or Surah Nur, which one is it? Which surah? So you go, but before that, Allah has said to these Ahlul Bayt, you are the Ahlul Bayt, blessings of Allah are on you. How can you not believe? Ayat 73. That's why the Sunnis never start from, they never cut the Durood Sharif. They start from Ibrahim and the family of Ibrahim. Because this is the family of Abraham that God blessed. They said, are you amazed at the decree of Allah? May the mercy of Allah and His blessings be upon you, people of the house. What? Blessings and mercy, right? Salwat. Wa barakatuh. Wa barakatuh, right? And mercy. Rahmatu. Right? Here we go. Oh, God. I have to lean back now. Get it? And, oh, God, I'm tired. Okay, now we come to, so this, who are you supposed to follow? Because you're praying, God has already made your prayer come true. That's why He's made you pray like this. He's given you, who is the Blessed One? Who has the mercy of Allah? Whatever it says, Surah Fatiha. Those that I have. O Bani Israel. O Bani Israel. O children of Israel. These are the ones, right? Look at this. O Bani Israel. We favored you. What did Prophet Muhammad do to them? Changing the Quran ayats against them. That they don't follow the scriptures, had they followed the Torah, this, that, they killed their prophets. and they went astray. Oh, Prophet, can ask the children of Israel when Moses came to them. Pharaoh said, no, no, it doesn't give me here the Quran ayat. So what I'll do is, I've jotted it down and I'll give it to you. Could Prophet Muhammad have now it's a very big thing I'm making. What? Assumption, you would say? But I've inferred from the Quran ayat and the history, Surah Hashar ayats and everything. How could they be exiled from their own city? Prophet Muhammad could have left when he had the chance to leave, and I don't think they would be keeping him there, you know. They would be most glad that he left. Go to Makkah or somewhere. You know, they were so glad. The Bedouins were told in Surah Fat, you thought they would never return to their families, meaning it to Medina. They would have been glad had this Prophet left them alone with their family and their properties, busy with their own things. But you would say they were not religious, they didn't help. This, that. O children of Israel, remember my favor, Ne'mati, which I bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the worlds. Children of Israel, not only you, children of Israel, but your prophets also. Those to whom, and never will the Jews and the Christians approve of you until you follow their religion. Isn't the same with you Muslims? You can't approve. You're with your Allah's ayats. Say, indeed, the guidance of Allah is the only guidance. Wasn't guidance of Allah given to them? That you're saying it like this here against them? This is also wrong and unfair. See, these kind of verses really make me very angry. And that the Shias even don't see this. Haven't examined it properly. And they failed. And they come, or something, some Muslim comes on this factor and that word, and oh, we believe that it's only Allah to be worshipped. And never will the Jews and the Christians approve of you until you follow their religion. But they left the Makkans alone, pagan idol worshippers. You were the one who was not leaving them alone. And you have not accepted. You may say you have accepted it, but you don't want them to remain Jews and Christians. You want them to be Muslims. Say, indeed, the guidance of Allah is the only guidance. If you were to follow their desires after what has come to you of knowledge, you would have against Allah no protector or helper. What an unfair verse. There you change. Muslims have deceived themselves about fasting, going into their wives when they were not allowed. Then you change the whole law and you say, yeah, you can. Here you're saying if you were to follow their desires after what has come to you of knowledge, you would have against Allah no protector or helper. This is unfair. Look what he's done in Surah Tahrim. Still the Shias also defend him. It's like outrageous, really. And he never makes a mistake. He never speaks out of his own desire. He never does a thing out of his own desire, this Prophet. Those to whom we have given the book, recite it with its true reciter. They are the ones who believe in it. Because they recite it with its true recital, they are the ones who believe in it. Now you recite it with, where's the evidence? There's also, where's the evidence? Just reciting it, they believe in it. What kind of a thing is this? And on the other another verse you're saying, if this Quran was from other than Allah, it would have many contradictions. So use your reason, and God will put abomination on you if you don't use your reason. And God will also put abomination on you if you don't believe. There's another ayat on that. Now what kind of a ayat is this? Those to whom we have sent the book study it as it should be studied. They are the ones that believe therein. Some put it this way, okay. Now how it should be studied, they know how it should be studied and they study it. Ask yourselves, are you Muslims united in studying the Quran ayats? Are you even united? Do you study it the way the Quran ayats should be studied, like Shia say? Or do the Shia study it like the Sunnis say? No. O children of Israel, remember my favor which I have bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the worlds. And fear a day will, so this. Nor shall intercession profit her. And mention, O Muhammad, when Abraham was tried by his Lord with words, and he fulfilled them. Allah said, indeed, I will make you a leader for the people. And of my descendants, Allah said, my covenant does not include the wrongdoers. You see, when I show Surah Tahrim, Prophet Muhammad was tested, right? It could be that when the wives are annoying him, you know how Abraham was tried and tested. But Prophet Muhammad didn't come up to the standard. He took an oath on and prohibiting himself what Allah had made lawful for him. Just like breaking a command, breaking the covenant of a prophethood. The messengers and the prophets would not do that under any circumstances. Breaking the command of Allah or going against the command of Allah, making an oath, it disqualifies this prophet in Surah Tahrim, Ayat 1. Such who keep their amanat no matter what. And then you're told, oh, now you can make oaths. But those oaths that you common Muslims make. But this is a prophet. Revelation is coming down on him. And he's prohibiting himself what Allah has made lawful for him. Look at Surah Maida ayat. It's a command. Do not prohibit, O believers. You will transgress if you do that. It should be included in saying things what you do not do. Surah Saf ayat. Allah hates those who say what they don't do. And these messengers keep their covenant no matter what. Because Abraham was tested in certain matters. You know how hard that test must have been. Like taking his child for a sacrifice. And the Jews say it's Isaac. The Christians say it's Isaac. It was Isaac, Isaac, not Ishmael. This book says son. And they in the hadiths it's Ishmael. Now, could the Jews believe that it's Ishmael when this book does not, and its meaning, its tafsirs given by Prophet Muhammad, it doesn't come to Isaac, it comes to Ishmael. How could the Jews believe in him? I was trying to show you why should the Jews believe in him, and as a Shia, I read that he took an adopted son and then he changed. Allah changed it. He's made an error. And then he's concealing in his heart, and then he's, what that ayat surah? And Zainab bin Josh is forced to marry Zaid. I'm very tired, even my jaw is hurting. Hello. Right, I'm not, hello, mashallah. So I'm going like this now on everything. What if the Prophet Muhammad, that wives tested him, was trying to test him? What if it was that? And he failed. And anyways, even if it, but you see, two wives annoying him, and Allah is his protector. Gabriel is his protector in that ayat, Asura, that ayat. Now, and most righteous among the believers. Moreover, angels are his protectors. What's going on? Allah is not enough. And do not associate anyone with Allah. Or besides Allah, apart from Allah. What is it? Decide. So you can also that, coming back to that of the so it was maybe it was Hawaii. Maybe the family's relics, Harun wa Musa. And mention when Abraham said, "My Lord, make this a city secure, provides people with fruits." Look at this. So the Bani Israel were favored, right? Here we're told. Not only the prophets, but O children, Bani Israel, children of Israel, call to mind the special favor which I have bestowed upon you. How could they be ungrateful? And you see, Safiya bint Huway said that my father was this from Aaron, and you know the relics of Aaron, the relics of the family of, not the family of Aaron. Okay, I might make some minor mistakes. I'm also confused in some things. And Musa. But I'm telling you, this is a very confusing, it has mistakes, it's not clear, the ayats are not clear, and there are discrepancies in the Quran ayats. There are contradictions. This is in Surah Baqarah, verse 248. It will have a reassuring peace from your Lord, and the relics and remains of the family of Musa and the family of Harun. The angels will carry it. How many Sunnis tell the Shias, what are you doing? Making tabut of Sakina, Bibi Sakina Hussein, Imam Hussein's daughter, and you're making these tabuts and you're carrying them and you're on the day of martyrdom. Why are you touching the tabut? Why are you this? Why that? Huh? Why do you make alams, relics, and how you practice? And the Prophet said to them, indeed, the sign of his kingship is that the chest will come to you, in which is assurance. You know this kingship given to who? Saul or who? He wasn't even a prophet. In fact, if I have to protect, let's say I tell the Shias that no, in Jews, but they're Muslim, they call themselves Muslims, right? They're the custodians. Let me not flatter them. You know, the Saudi king. What if I tell the Shias, no, it's allowed in this Quran. Now, to be royals, to be kings in Islam. They've taken the King Salman, King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. Why not? Because this, who was he? Also this point. Why don't you? People in authority, it says. Sunnis say, whoever a Muslim is in authority, we take him, we can't go against him. The Prophet said to them, Allah has appointed Talut, right, as king over you. Now who was Talut? Was he a messenger of Allah? Was he a prophet of Allah? So Muslims, you can have kingship since this ayat. So allow, like you can't say that king of Saudi Arabia is not a Muslim. And now the Sunnis say, and I tell the Sunnis, no, you can't say that Shias can't make tabuts of the relics and all of, you know, Ahl Bayt, the Prophet Muhammad's progeny who died in, martyred in Karbala, and the Alam, the standard bearer, the Abbas, the in memory of that Mashk, water carrier, what do you call it? No, no, you can't tell the Shias that you can't do this. Saudis, you can't tell the Shias that you can't do this. And Shias, Iran, Ayatollahs, Grand Ayatollahs, you can't tell Saudi Arabians not to, because Talut is a king made over you. The Prophet said to them, Allah hath appointed Talut as king over you. They said, how can he exercise authority over us when we are better fitted than he to exercise authority? And he's not even gifted with wealth in abundance. He said, Allah had chosen him above you. Allah has chosen a king above them. The Prophet is telling them, and had gifted him abundantly with knowledge. So he's the most knowledgeable person. And bodily prowess, power, bodily power. Allah granted his authority to whom he pleased. What if the kings of Saudi Arabia one day got up, they had a dream that the Prophet has said, Rasulullah, that Allah has appointed you as kings. Right? So there can be a king apart from a prophet, but the prophet has to choose him. Okay, let's be sincere to this ayat. Now, why has the Saudi king made himself a king? When the prophet should choose you, okay, that is right. Hast thou not turned thy vision to the chiefs of the children of Israel after the time of Moses? They said to a prophet among them, appoint for us a king, that we may fight in the cause of Allah. He said, it is not possible. If you were commanded to fight, that you will not fight. They said, how could we refuse to fight in the cause of Allah, seeing that we were turned out of our homes and our families, separated from our family? But when they were commanded to fight, they turned back except a small band among them. But Allah has full knowledge of those who do wrong. And the Prophet said to them, indeed, Allah has sent to you Saul as a king. They said, how can he have kingship over us? So this, you work it out, the Sunnis among you and the Shias, that can Islam have kings and queens? Kings at least, right? Chosen by the Prophet, by Allah. And the Prophet said to them, indeed, a sign of his kingship is that the chest will come to you in which is assurance from your Lord, and a remnant of what the family of Moses and the family of Aaron had left, have left behind, carried by the angels. So you see, Jews would have no problem in this. You never see a Jew fighting with each other. You're not a Jew. You're not a Jew. Maybe one Jew would tell a Zionist that you're not, if you're killing and you're doing this against Muslims, you're not a Jew. But never on religious basis like this, that you are, not a Jew, you're not on the right path. You are a disbeliever. So much conflict between Shia and Sunni, it's unbelievable. Really makes me cry. Even now, with all this information on social media, on Google, websites, still don't get it. People still come here, Muslims, telling me that I haven't been on the right path. Now they led me to this, that the favored were the children of Israel. So you can see not only the prophets, but the children of Israel. And at that time, if you're wondering, where did this Surah Fatiha come from? It could have come from, because in my dream, I felt that this was from the Jews. Jews had the same prayer. Could Huawei have had the same prayer? Could Kaab have had? I don't know, but it was being recited in my dream, Surah Fatiha. And they were saying that this is the Jews' prayer. They have the same prayer. I couldn't find it in the Bible. Searching, where's Surah Fatiha in the Bible? So I think the Jews were supposed to, now we come to Surah Baqarah at 47. The Jews were favored and you're supposed to follow their chiefs. Don't know how Prophet Muhammad made, how he must have done it. 47. Surah Baqarah at 47. O children of Israel, again, remember, keeps reminding you, or keeps reminding the children of Israel, not you, Muslims. O children of Israel, remember my favor that I have bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over the worlds. It's in the same surah, but that was a surah, the same surah, ayat 122. Now it's surah 2, ayat 47. Now we go to surah 2, ayat 40. Same surah. Just before this, 47. Oh my God, how many? O children of Israel, remember my favor which I have bestowed upon you, and fulfill my covenant, that I will fulfill your covenant. And be afraid of me. How could they forget? How could they go wrong? How could they not listen? So many times it's been said to them, and believe in what I have sent down, confirming that which is already with you. No, they can't believe in that. And do not be the first to disbelieve in it, and do not exchange my signs for small price, paltry price. And do not mix the truth with falsehood or conceal the truth while you know it. And establish prayer, and give zakah, and bow with those who bow. Do you order righteousness of the people and forget yourselves while you recite the scripture? Who did this? In Surah Tahrim, I showed you. When the revelations are being, he could have had patience and not forbidden himself what Allah had made lawful for him, seeking to please his wives. O Prophet, it's okay to please your wives, but not against the law of Allah, breaking it like this when you're ordering them to be righteous. And moreover, look what he's done. Do you see any Jew coming up, a beautiful girl, I want to marry you, please marry me? Like Muslims can go crazy over beautiful girls. Right? Straight hair, oh my God, heartthrob. Please marry us, please marry us. They're going after the foreigners and all. Have you seen fair ladies? Do you see Jews doing this? I've never seen Jews doing this, in London at least. London Jews the best. I've never seen London Jews misbehave. We were living in the same. I've never had a neighborhood such a calm, peaceful neighborhood. So, I mean, if they don't help you out, they don't interfere in your life. If you give them something to help help you, they will take good care of it. They took good care of my kitten. My neighbor sent it to the hotel there. When I went back, I was like, oh my goodness. They take care of your kitten that you have entrusted them with in London. And they don't do abayas and total hijab or all that. Whatever they are, I tell you, they're very trustworthy. My dentist, my Jewish dentist, I remember, his wife told my mother, "Will you be my friend? Since maybe your husband will not like it and this and that, but I really want to be your friend. Can you be my friend?" So all this. Now we have another one which is, I think, against that they broke the covenant. Which one was it? Oh no. So all favored, right? Did I miss any here? Is it Surah? Yeah, Surah 2. Look how many times. So something's gone wrong. How many times the children of Adam are told, and I honored you above all the others. And then in Surah Jummah, these are, okay, someone came up with this great thing that these are not the children of Israel. These are the ones who worship the tree. Surah Jummah. Why have you made yourselves? Why? Why did these worshippers of trees make themselves so special? And I've proven this person wrong, this alim even, a religious scholar of the Sunni sect. Hadus. Example of those who are entrusted with the Tahara. It speaks about the Tahara, okay? And here it says, say, O you who are Jews, okay? Hadu. If you claim that you are allies of Allah from excluding the people, then wish for death if you are truthful. Now let's see. So here, but the children of Israel, Prophet Muhammad was not a child of Israel. Whatever, if you're going to say something here that I should listen to you, Hadus were tree worshippers. Were they? Hadus were not from Bani Israel, children of Israel. Tree worshippers. My God, what extent? Let's see what extent the people. Hadith. No, I want a oh, sorry, yeah. Where's the Quran ayat? Let's see, I could be wrong. I tried to search pledge under the tree. These Hadus, they say, were not those Jews of Bani Israel. They were tree worshippers. That's why Rasulullah saw the Sidrat al-Muntaha covered with what it was covered with. And you don't worship the tree. You don't worship the stone. Up here, the black stone. I don't know, I couldn't find Hadus being tree worshippers. anyways. But they were part of the Jewish, you know, tribe or from Jews. Look at the miracle of the Quran. That now, right, now the Muslims are favored ones. And the Hadus are not. And the Bani Israel. And Hadus were not from the Bani Israel. They started to worship tree. Shuaib, what are you saying? God, I don't have that eloquence. But with such eloquence, you can show miracles in the Quran ayats could be coming from the Jews. Now, I've reached here and I want to share this. Why Christians and why the Jews didn't believe in Prophet Muhammad, and then who are the blessed? Could it be that Safiya bint Huway because she says here, it says in Wikipedia, if you look at the citing even, see which hadith or where it is mentioned in the Islamic sources, confirm it. Regarding Safiya's Jewish descent, Muhammad once said to his wife that if other women insulted her for her Jewish heritage and were jealous because of her beauty, she was to respond, my father, ancestor, meaning my father Harun was a prophet, my uncle, his brother Musa, was a prophet, and my husband, good God. Muhammad. Maybe her husband was a prophet who was killed. Remember, Safiya's husband was killed. Maybe he was a prophet. Maybe Salam ibn Mishkam divorced. Maybe Kanana ibn Rabbi. Here's his biography. He had two brothers, Al-Rabi, okay. Kanana is said to have urged Muhammad to give up the custom during prayer of turning his face toward Makkah, Qibla, in favor of Jerusalem, as had been the custom in Islam at first. Ooh, after, I don't know, look, there's a citing here. Khaybar, the Encyclopedia of Islam, Ex-Shia Vagliari. Sorry if I've mispronounced their name. As was before in Islam at first. After the expulsion of the Banu al-Nadir, of which tribe he was a member, he and his family retired to Khaybar, where they possessed a castle called Qamus. Ibn Ishaq writes about it. So you can read all this, right? What's this? Ibn Ishaq writes about Kanana ibn al-Rabbi. Kanana al-Rabbi, who had the custody of the treasure of Banu Nadir. Don't think I have the heart to. Was brought to the. I'll go after this. Sorry, I have to take a break. Thank you for being here. God bless you all, and your family members, and you too, who have blamed me for things. But today you've come a very beautiful way. Thank you so much. Kanan al-Rabbi, who had the custody of the treasure of Banu Nadir, was brought to the apostle who asked him about it. He denied that he knew where it was. A Jew came, Tabari says, was brought to the apostle and said he had seen Kanana going round a certain ruin every morning or early. When the people said to Kanana, "Do you know that if we find you have it, I shall kill you?" He said yes. The apostle gave orders that the ruin was to be excavated, and some of the treasure was found. When he asked him about the rest, he refused to produce it. So the apostle gave orders to Al-Zubair al-Awam, torture him until you extract what he has. So he kindled a fire with flint and steel on his chest until he was nearly dead. Then the apostle delivered him to Muhammad bin Maslama, and he struck off his head in revenge for his brother Mahmud. In addition to Ibn Ishaq's narration, Al-Tabari writes, the Prophet gave orders concerning Kanana to Zubair, saying, torture him until you root out and extract what he has. Allah, that was his treasure, from Banu Nadir's treasure. So Zubair kindled a fire on Kinana's chest, twirling it with his fire stick until Kinana was near death. Terrorist, tyrant, terrorist. Sorry, I have to go.